And so we're back here today on Imaginary Only after we just hit Trailblazer level 15. And now we're able to ascend and level Dr. Ratio, along with getting a ticket for doing so, as well as leveling the 4-star light cone we received from the tutorial missions. We also level up Traces once more for damage output. We would try to do these new missions, but they won't be clearable until after we beat a specific fight, which we'll get to in this episode. Even if we could though, we can't wear relics yet anyway. We then get another 10 tickets for hitting Trailblazer level 15. They're standard, but there's always more chances for Welt or Yukong. Oh, look at that. Ahania. Yeah, maybe I should have tried a physical-only account at this rate. There is a run of that, but only one episode, and it dropped off at Geppard.
You're also dropping off at Geppard.
Well, I'm leveling past Geppard in order to continue for content. If Trailblazer Donal can do that, I don't see why I can't.
Be careful, that mindset will bite you back eventually. You know what I say?
Copying others rarely leads to improved results. Yes, I know, but how much of it is copying, and how much of it is just applying knowledge to another situation?
Don't get wax philosophical with me. You know I'll outperform you.
So, we went back to go over any last rewards from Pom Pom once more, before also superimposing some other light cones to strengthen them, just in case that we need them, and just in case the 4-star light cone doesn't pan out. In order to realize that we have not been very frugal with our consumables. We're close to the end of the line. There are ways of buying more after this fight, but it's only after this fight. So it's now or never. If we don't get Geppard to 25 life, or 25% life, the run is well and truly over before it even began. I'd try again, obviously, but I'd most likely have to start a new account for this.
And you don't have any better ideas?
No.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Sorry, Professor. It's just what I got.
And you can't go through it and you can't knock it down. You know that you found the wall. No man on earth can make it fall.
Can you go 5 minutes without making a meme or a joke of some sort?
No.
Oh, what am I going to do with you?
So we didn't do too well in the first phase of this fight. Luckily, between being overleveled and hitting his weakness, it only took 2 blows. And we have follow-up attacks, so that's fine. Surviving the scripted hit was all that we needed to do, thankfully, and we survived by the skin of our teeth. Let it be known, at least, for some reason, that if you find yourself in a position to do so, you can solo Geppard with only one hunt character. Would you want to? Well, I'll leave that up to you, I suppose. After that, we tell Geppard about the fact that we are from space, in the space train, and we have the proof in the form of a picture, before he reluctantly escorts us to the last bastion of humanity for this planet, Belobog. We've beaten the first wall, but let me tell you, there's another worse wall up ahead for anyone running solo anything.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine, I think. Anyway, upon arriving to Belobog, you will get your first ever text message from anyone, Pom. I think this also opens up the text message system, where you can talk to other characters, giving them more life and depth to them. This is by far one of my favorite features. It's so adorable. But while we're here, we also have chests to go through, as well as vending machines to get our fill of more consumables. We also raid the trash like the raccoons we are, but at least for this, we need every little bit of help that we can get. And even then, these may not be truly enough. You'll see later. It's a bit of a doozy. We then go around pushing envelopes back into mailboxes to get as many praise of high morals as we can get. Professor, do you think that someday I'll get that praise?
Don't hold your breath.
We then take all those praises and throw them into the fountain to get even more things. Basically, we're pack ratting as much as we can because we're completely outmatched. I've seen how outmatched this battle is with one character, and I want every single morsel of assistance to get me through this. We then make our way to the hotel after wringing what we can of the city we have access to, before progressing to the next part of this fight. Bronya then stops us and tells us that the leader of Belobog, Kolia, has determined that we are dangerous and must now be arrested before it leads up to probably one of the smartest ways to count to 3 without people noticing offhand. It's a great fight scene in general, not to mention pretty well choreographed as March finishes off with the silliest gambit possible. We then enter what this game's equivalent of a dungeon is, I suppose, as we go over another puzzle mechanic introduced, as well as a tutorial for how to use consumables again. Good thing we already figured that out at the Doom Beast. Am I right? Anyway, after all that, they gave us a really good consumable to then force us to eat it. Fun fact, I actually bugged up my game and had to reset it by closing out of the window as opposed to just using it, because I thought I could save it for the boss fight up ahead. Unfortunately, it did nothing to rid me of the confirm button, and even actually using the gloves didn't remove it. I wonder if I just reset my game as opposed to trying to use them like the game wanted, and having it still be bugged. I also wonder if Musashi knows about this. This requires testing later.
Oh wow, you're actually opting to do experimentation? I approve.
Professor, you give me praise.
Not praise, approval. Surely, you know the difference.
We come to the precipice of the final fight, before we reach the underground. The true wall of this run, as it's incredibly difficult with only one character. You'll see this hallway a lot. I take my consumable and try to start the fight off, but unfortunately, much like Geppard, we're met with a multi-phase fight. And this is something I failed to mention during the Geppard fight, but these count as 2 separate fights. So all consumables wear off immediately. This is something addressed in a later update in the form of auto use, but again, a pitfall of mine is we don't have access to that yet. We simply don't have access to a lot of things, which has ruined us for such a challenge. So as you can see, I keep trying, variation upon variation of consumable, some variation of light cone, again and again, over and over.
Are you all right? What are you doing?
I'm reaching the bottom. I cannot do this. I am nothing. I've wasted my time. I can't go on. I've seen the end of the chasm as it looks back at me, and I'm merely mortal of this shell. This prodigious event is still on its way, still wandering. It has not reached the ears of men. Lightning and thunder require time. The light of the stars requires time. Deeds through done still require time to be seen and heard. This deed is more distant from them than the most distant stars, and yet they have done it to themselves.
Why are you quoting nihilism philosophy?
What should I have to give you? But let me go quickly. I take nothing from you. Dead are all the gods. Now do we desire the Overman to live.
Stop, please. Go back to joking and making memes.
The human race has fought every moment for its survival. Our flesh may be weak, but we refuse to kneel. Do your worst, Void Queen. Our battle has only just begun.
And so, it happened. I got lucky on an old throwaway account that I used for re-rolling and had a chance to start again. I originally was going to compromise and try the Bronya fight with Dan Hung as a second party member, as technically a version of him is imaginary. It was a sad cop-out, one I really regretted having to do. But I decided after I've seen challenge runs also fudge the rules a little bit for fights that are technically impossible otherwise. So I had to talk myself into being even more okay with it. But unfortunately, I'm kind of dumb and forgot to hit record when I did it. I decided to try and salvage this project by going on a reroll account I deemed a failure to re-record and edit the boss fight. But luckily, this happened instead. I'm going to call it a break here, record the Bronya fight, as well as try to scrap enough Jades to get adventuring before he leaves. So the Bronya fight won't actually be for a while. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, or don't. I'll put out another video sometime next week. This was an undertaking.
I hate to admit it, but you're improving. Just don't scare me like that again.